Hello, all you beautiful people. Welcome back to another video here at the DFD Mastery channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 5 mistakes that new wholesalers make, or the 5 mistakes you make in wholesaling. So I want to dive into these. Trust me, these are massive gold nuggets. I promise you this will save you tens of thousands of dollars in marketing costs and miss out deals and everything else. Most of these mistakes I've made the hard way, but many of them I had mentors that advised me and kept me from making these mistakes. So grateful for my wonderful mentors. I'm gonna pass this on to you for free, so make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and share this video with a friend that you think might benefit. All right, let's dive in. Hi, my name is Zack Boothe, and I help people just like you become ultra successful in real estate investing, and more specifically, real estate wholesaling. So you can follow along on this YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And also, if you would like to apply for my mastery program, get direct access to me and all the actionable steps to become a successful wholesaler, make sure you go to my website, linked in the description below, and book a call so you can either talk to me or one of my onboarding coaches to see if we are a fit to help you in your journey to become a real estate wholesaler. Enjoy the content. The first major mistake that new wholesalers make is they start their marketing, they start trying to find sellers before they're prepared to sell the deal once they find it. You really need to build your cash buyers list first. There's a lot of people that will say, if you find a good deal, the buyers will come. That is not true. That's BS. You might be able to move a deal, sure, but you're not going to get the most for it as possible because you don't have a big enough buyers list. I can give you tons and tons of examples, but to keep this video short, first mistake is you got to build a cash buyers list first. Build a cash buyers list of a minimum of 200 cash buyers before you start your marketing. I have tons of videos on this channel, and I talk about it in my podcast and other places on how to build your cash buyers list. But just for the sake of time, 200 cash buyers, you got to get that done. That is a major mistake if you don't do that. Second big mistake that real estate investors do is they do not have all of their paperwork ready to go before they start marketing. So before you go meet with a seller, you need to have some things in place. First of all, you need to have a title company that you've already talked to and understand that they can do real estate wholesaling transactions, meaning they can do the work for you of collecting the money from the end buyer and paying off the seller and paying you your assignment fee, and they understand how to process all that paperwork. So once you get all of the pieces in place, you have the title company ready to go, okay? So you got to get that foundational piece in place, as well as a real estate purchase agreement that has an option to assign it and an assignment agreement to sign between you and the end buyer. So you need to have your purchase agreements and your assignment agreements in place. So it's very important to have those things in place before you start spending money on marketing. The third big mistake that I see wholesalers make and new wholesalers is they want to get into this business with absolutely $0. They have no financial backing whatsoever. They plan on just going out and doing things that are completely free, like going and knocking on doors and asking for people that want to sell, or calling for sell by owners that are listed on like Craigslist, but they don't plan on spending any money on marketing. If that's the situation, for example, I wouldn't even coach someone unless they're willing to spend a minimum of $500 a month on marketing. Of course, there's good marketing strategies and bad marketing, but I'm a big believer that real estate investing of any kind, whether it's wholesaling or buy and hold or anything else, our business is marketing and our product is real estate. So you need to have a rock solid marketing strategy in place and have the money to do it, okay? So there's a lot of people out there that tell you to go get PropStream or buy lists from ListSource, or even just to go pull lists from your city and county records. Can you make money from doing that stuff? Yes. But every single other new wholesaler and existing wholesaler and like the big guys in your market that have tens of thousands of dollars to spend per week on marketing, they're already gobbling up all those lists and dumping way more money into those lists than you could ever pay. Plus, then if you do get a lead from that list, they're going to get the same lead. You're going to be competing with someone that's experienced in this space on getting it under contract, guys that can give non-refundable $10,000 down. I mean, they're going to be able to beat you just because they're more established. So if you want to get started in this business, you need to have a niche marketing strategy. You need to have something that no one else is doing. You need to have something that you can, spend 10 cents to make $1. You need to have 10x returns on your marketing investment, right? That's why I do driving for dollars. I was a small fry. I was a window cleaner, and I was trying to get into this space, and I was trying all those marketing strategies and nothing was working. And that's why I started doing driving for dollars, and that's why I teach driving for dollars. It is the best way to get started in this space. I teach driving for dollars. If you want to know more about my Driving for Dollars Mastery program, I do coach it. I do help people. That's how I help students become successful. The main root of it is the marketing strategy. Of course, I teach everything wholesaling, but that marketing strategy is why my students are so successful. If you want to talk to me about that and join my program, go to dfdmastery.com and book a call. We could talk to you about it. But that is the major mistake, is not having a rock solid marketing strategy in place and having money set aside to spend some money on marketing. Fourth mistake that new real estate wholesalers make is the lack, sometimes it's mistakes, as well as a lack of experience in talking to people and closing deals, sales skills. So a lot of people think you have to be really well spoken and you have to be the most intelligent person, or even maybe be dishonest to be a good salesman. But I think that that's not true at all. What happens most of the time, people are so focused on themselves and so focused on making money that it comes across very obvious to the sellers. The sellers are very turned off and they don't want to work with you because you're so focused on yourself and making money and making a lowball offer. Negotiations is a huge part of what I teach my students. I'm going to share just some of the basic things around sales that you need to understand. First and foremost, your negotiation strategy shouldn't change whether it's a family member or it's someone you don't know, right? It doesn't matter if it was my cousin that called me. I mean, I actually had a cousin that called me who was a motivated seller. He didn't want to deal with it. He was moving jobs. He just wanted to sell it to me for what he owed on it. And I said, dude, you could get more if you listed it. He said, I know, I just want to be done. Like, all right, great, I'll buy it. Right? So you need to understand that your negotiation strategy shouldn't change whether it's a family member or not, okay? So if you're looking at your negotiation strategy and you feel like it would change, you're not doing it right. So having a rock solid sales, an ethical sales strategy is very important. The other major mistake around sales that people do is they go in and just make an offer and they expect people to sign. They give them an exact number and that seller just turns around and says, thank you, I'm gonna sleep on it. And they call all the other postcards, they Google, sell my house fast, and they go to a different investor, and an investor that knows how to listen to the needs of the seller and close the transaction will get it signed and you won't get the deal, right? And so we consistently have leads that we get under contract where there's 2 to 7 other investors in on that, trying to get that contract, and we walk away with it because of our negotiation strategies. So understanding how to do sales and understanding how to communicate with people is a major skill set that I believe is a necessity to really excel in this business. And of course, I teach that in my course. But if you don't want to get a course, you can earn and learn, right? My uncle told me this when I was a young man, and I've done this my whole life. If you want to get good at something, get paid to do it. Go get a job doing what you're trying to do. Go get a job as a salesman, a part-time job, especially for you young people watching this video. If you're under 18, you should be working to learn. You should be getting a door-to-door sales job to learn. You should be getting a construction job to learn how to do construction. You should be doing framing or finish carpentry or painting, but you should be out there working to learn, not just chasing a paycheck. So getting a sales job and having sales experience and sales training, I think is one of the more valuable skills you can have in your life, in all areas of your life. So I think that's a big mistake, is just thinking that not having to talk to people or communicate with people. It is a very, very important part of wholesaling, is knowing how to communicate and sell. All right, the fifth and final mistake that I think new wholesalers make, and wholesalers make in general, actually, even the successful ones, is they become an employee to their cash buyers. So for example, let's say you have a deal, you blast it out to your cash buyers, you send it out, let's say you have it under contract for $100,000, and you blast it out an email to your cash buyers and say, I'm wanting $120,000 for this deal. So you're getting a $20,000 assignment and $100,000 for the underlying agreement. So you're gonna walk away with 20 grand. You're super excited. And a cash buyer calls you and he says, I'll do that deal right now, sight unseen. I'm going to send you the earnest money. Let's do it at $120,000, but I have to do it now or I'm not doing it. And the reason they're doing that to you is they're trying to pressure you into signing with them because they know that you could probably get more somewhere else. And if you say no, they're going to throw a temper tantrum, and most wholesalers cave to that kind of pressure because they think, wow, I can make 20 grand right now. But guess what? If you wait and get all offers in, you probably make 27, 28, maybe even 30 grand or more on that deal because you were willing to wait and get highest and best. So I believe that so many people get stuck into only working with just a couple or just a handful of cash buyers. And I promise you, you're leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table over the span of a couple deals, right? We follow the process. When we get a deal, we blast it out to our cash buyers via email and a text, letting them know that there's a deal. We do an inspection a couple days later after the emails go out. Everyone that's interested in making an offer goes and inspects the property. As we're doing the inspection, we always inspect it ourselves too to see if we want to flip it or keep it as a rental, because I do cherry pick some of my own deals. And once all that's done, we get offers from everybody. We just take highest and best. We don't tell everyone what the offers are. We just say, make an offer that makes sense for you. It's probably going to be for more than what we're asking, but we have no idea, honestly. So you make an offer that makes sense. You are going to have motivated buyers just like you have motivated sellers. You're going to have buyers that have 1031 tax exchanges, meaning they need to move money for tax purposes. You're going to have people that just want to buy a deal because they got money that needs to be working. They got investors that have given them money and they want that money working, so they got to put it to work even if they're not going to make a huge profit. They may have employees that they need to keep busy, right? You're going to have motivated buyers. So making it available to everyone, and everyone has a fair shot at it, you're gonna have someone that will pay 10, 15, 20 grand above anyone else. My very first wholesale deal, I had the right buyer, and I did this process, and he paid me $10,000 for my first assignment fee. He was the only person that was willing to do that. And it was because he had a 1031 tax exchange that he was doing. For tax purposes, he paid me more than anyone was willing to even get close to. And I just want that to be very clear that you've got to get good at the disposition process as well. So not becoming an employee to your cash buyers, not caving into that high pressure, take my offer or leave it. If they're going to put that kind of pressure on you, that's not the kind of person that you want to work with, because they want you to make less so they can make more. It's not the kind of business you want to be in. You want to be in the business of everyone gets a fair shot. If it makes sense for them to buy it at that price, great. If they're not the highest offer, then it's not in your best interest to work with them. But you want to work with someone, they're going to make money with their offer. They're your highest offer, so that's fair to you. You do the deal, you both make money, and it's great. Okay, so that's a fifth and final mistake. Hope you guys enjoyed this content. Again, please share this with a friend that you think might benefit from it. Make sure you hit the like button. I would really appreciate that. And we will see you in the next video.